Okay, we ready to go? We got everyone? All right, well, I want to start first and always by thanking our city workers. We know that there is a lot happening this time of year, and when a major storm is on the way, all of the preparations that happen year-round really kick into play, and people are working 24 hours a day to make sure that we are as prepared as possible for any weather condition. On Thursday, the City of Boston declared a cold emergency, which will continue through Sunday morning. And everyone who's here has already felt it on the way in. Please take extra precaution, bundle up if you need to go outside, and please try not to need to go outside by doing what you can and staying warm and staying safe. We are also now preparing for the storm and snowfall that should begin Sunday. Right now, we are expecting that the heaviest part of that storm will start just before kickoff, around 2 p.m. on Sunday, and could go through 3 a.m. on Monday, with potentially 2 to 3 inches of snow falling per hour during that period. When we think about snow, we think about how much we're going to get, how many inches total, but also how fast it comes down, because that's how fast our plows and our teams will need to work to keep the roads clear. At that pace of potentially 2 to 3 inches per hour, we could be in whiteout conditions, and so we really will need everyone to stay off the roads wherever possible and give our crews the space to work. With all that, schools will be closed on Monday, and all BPS Sunday activities are canceled. All city buildings will be closed Sunday and Monday, and that includes our libraries and community centers. Our city crews will be working around the clock to clear the streets and keep up with the pace of the storm. So to help them do that, overnight street sweeping is canceled until further notice, and a parking ban on posted roads will be in effect starting 8 a.m. on Sunday. During that period, the Boston Transportation Department and the Boston Police Department will be strictly enforcing the ban to ensure that plows can clear streets safely, given how much snow we are expecting and how fast it will come down. We got to get all the way to the curb, so please make sure to move your cars. If you are a Boston resident with a resident parking sticker, there are free and discounted garages for you to move your cars into. You can find that list at boston.gov/snow. Parking at participating garages will begin at 6 a.m. on Sunday, and discounted parking will end 2 hours after the emergency is lifted. Space savers. You will have 48 hours until the end of the snow emergency, you will have 48 hours after the end of the snow emergency to remove your space savers. At that point, our crews and trash pickup trucks will be removing them. Please note that space savers are prohibited in the South End and Bay Village due to the neighborhood's own policies. Parking is not allowed in BPS school lots during snowstorms, and vehicles parked in these lots will be towed starting 9 a.m. on Sunday. Our teams at the city work all year round to prepare for storms like this, and we're very thankful for all of our staff and all of our vendors and contractors who work together with us. Public Works will have over 850 pieces of snow clearing equipment, plows, trucks, on hand to treat and plow the roadways, and we're working with these contractors to add even more capacity. We have more than 40,000 tons of salt in our stockpile, and we'll start pre-treating roads well before the snow starts to fall. Our public safety agencies, Boston Police, Fire, and EMS will have additional staff on call to respond as needed, and Boston Fire is prepared to deploy their high water vehicles. We need your help to keep everyone safe. We're expecting whiteout conditions, so please avoid driving during the snow emergency. Businesses. We know that it is very difficult when everybody stays home and therefore you're not getting the foot traffic in the door. We're encouraging everyone to go out ahead of time, plan ahead. It is cold right now, but get your snacks for the Patriots game now before it starts to get towards when the snow is falling. Get what you need to get to be able to stay inside and stay home after the game is done and we're all celebrating. Please just plan ahead and make sure that we can continue to keep the roads clear. For businesses whose workers can have the option, we urge you to please tell your employees to work from home on Monday if possible. For everyone, all of our residents and businesses, please shovel the sidewalks in front of your property, as well as any nearby catch basins or fire hydrants. And remember, knock on wood, celebrate responsibly after the game and take care. The snow will add another dimension to the fun. Trash and recycling will operate as normal on Monday for downtown neighborhoods, Charlestown, Roxbury, and South Boston. But for all other neighborhoods, trash pickup will be delayed a day, just to give our snow crew an extra day earlier in the week to keep the roads clear and get everything back up to normal. If you see anyone out in the weather who may need help, please call 911 immediately. The city's emergency shelters are open 24/7, and we are going to be working to make sure that anyone who's outside can get inside safely immediately with transportation. We're working closely with the National Weather Service to continue monitoring the storm and its latest impacts. And we know in New England especially, weather conditions can change very quickly, so we're going off the best forecast for now, but we will be continuing to adjust as the information gets better closer to the storm. If you want to stay updated in the fastest possible way, you can sign up for Alert Boston and get automatic text messages from the city with any alerts or information that you need. Sign up at boston.gov/snow. Thank you again to our many teams who will be working throughout the storm to keep our residents safe. And before I turn it over to Superintendent Mary Skipper, one more time en español. Buenos días y gracias a todo nuestro equipo a la ciudad de Boston, de cada departamento. El jueves, la ciudad declaró una emergencia del frío, que continuará por lo menos hasta el domingo por la mañana. El domingo a las 8 de la mañana declararemos una emergencia de nieve también. En este momento, esperamos la nevada más pesada entre las 2 de la tarde del domingo y las 3 de la mañana del lunes, con hasta 2 o 3 pulgadas cayendo por hora. Ya hemos cerrado las escuelas para el lunes y cancelado todas las actividades de domingo de nuestras escuelas públicas también. Todos los edificios municipales permanecerán cerrados el domingo y el lunes, incluyendo todas las sucursales de la Boston Public Library, de las bibliotecas y los centros comunitarios. Nuestros equipos trabajarán las 24 horas del día para despejar las calles y mantenerse al día con el ritmo de la tormenta. Para ayudarlos a hacer eso, la limpieza de calles nocturnas se cancelará hasta nuevo aviso. Y una prohibición de estacionamiento estará en vigor a partir del domingo hasta el lunes. Durante ese periodo, el Departamento de Transporte de Boston y la Policía de Boston harán cumplir estrictamente la prohibición para garantizar que los arraros puedan despejar las calles de forma segura, dado el volumen de nieve que esperamos. Algunas notas sobre estacionamiento. Los residentes de Boston con permiso de residente pueden encontrar una lista de garajes gratuitos y con descuento en boston.com/snow. El estacionamiento en los garajes participantes comenzará el domingo a las 6 de la mañana. El estacionamiento con descuento comienza 2 horas antes de que declaramos una emergencia de nieve y termina 2 horas después de que se levante la emergencia. Tendrán 48 horas después del final de la emergencia de nieve para eliminar sus ahorradores de espacio. Tenga en cuenta que los ahorradores de espacio están prohibidos en el South End y Bay Village. No se permite el estacionamiento en los lotes de las escuelas públicas durante las tormentas de nieve. Los vehículos estacionados en los estacionamientos de las escuelas durante la emergencia de nieve pueden ser remolcados a partir de las 9 de la mañana del domingo. Nuestros equipos en la ciudad trabajan todo el año para prepararse para tormentas como esta y estamos listos para responder. Pero necesitamos su ayuda para mantener a todos a salvo. La visibilidad podría reducirse a 0. Por favor, evite conducir durante la duración de la tormenta, excepto en caso de emergencia. Empresas, les instamos a que, si es posible, pidan a sus empleados que trabajen desde casa. Por favor, palee también las aceras frente a su propiedad, así como cualquier cuenca de captura o boca de incendio cercana. Y si las cosas terminan yendo bien para los patriotas el domingo, por favor, celebren de manera responsable y cuídense. El lunes, la basura operará con operaciones normales en distritos de Downtown, Charlestown, Roxbury y South Boston, pero todos los demás vecindarios se retrasarán un día. Si ve a alguien en el clima que puede necesitar ayuda, llame al 911 de inmediato. Los refugios de emergencia de la ciudad están abiertos las 24 horas del día, los 7 días de la semana y tienen una política de amnistía para las personas con restricciones no violentas. Trabajaremos en colaboración con el Servicio Meteorológico Nacional para monitorear la tormenta y sus últimos impactos. Para mantenerse actualizados, urgimos a los residentes que se inscriban en Alert Boston. Pueden encontrar más información en boston.com/snow. Gracias de nuevo a nuestros equipos que trabajarán durante la tormenta para mantener a nuestros residentes seguros. Now I'll pass it on to Superintendent of the Boston Public Schools, Mary Skipper, who will be followed by our Chief of Streets, Nick Gove, Chief of Emergency Preparedness, Adrian Jordan, Police Commissioner Michael Cox, EMS Chief Jim Hooley, Fire Commissioner Paul Burke.
Thank you, Mayor. Good morning, everyone. So first, I'd like to thank our mayor and to thank all of my colleagues for just ensuring safety for our families and our students throughout the storm and then in the cleanup. As the mayor indicated, we will be closing BPS all schools and offices on Monday, January 26th. We've also made the decision to postpone and cancel all extracurriculars that would run on Sunday, the 25th, and Monday, the 26th. This would also include any kind of sports event that would happen, everything basically Sunday and Monday for activities. I would like to thank our custodians especially, and those staff that will be working throughout the storm to begin preparation and to try to clear our snow as much as possible. We would encourage all of our parents to please make sure that they're staying tuned to Parent Square. We'll be giving updates regularly, as well as through BPS social media and city social media. We will have our helpline running all day on Monday, and so just as a reminder, that's 617-635-8873. It's also helpline at bostonpublicschools.org. If parents have any questions, they can certainly call into that. Please, encourage our students and our families to stay safe in the cold and in the snow. Extra reminder, as our mayor indicated, that with the parking ban going into effect, we really do need the cars out of the school lots according to the parking ban issued by the city. This is essential for us to be able to get into those parking lots and do snow removal. With that, I hope our students enjoy their first snow day safely and at home.
Good morning. My name's Nick Gove, Interim Chief of Streets for the City of Boston. As the mayor detailed, we're forecasting a significant long-duration winter storm event for the next couple days that's going to run right through Monday evening. The heaviest accumulation is forecasted for late tomorrow afternoon through early Monday morning, with the accumulation again continuing until Monday night. That heavy rate of snowfall has the potential to produce dangerous travel conditions during the peak of the storm. If that happens, we don't anticipate that we'll be able to maintain bare pavement during that time. So for your safety and to allow our teams to work, we encourage you to use public transportation and stay off the road if you can. For those that do need to travel, we encourage you to give yourself extra time, drive slowly, and to give our crews plenty of room to do their work. As always, please don't crowd the plow. Our public works teams are fully prepared, well-equipped, and ready to fight this storm. The city has more than 40,000 tons of salt on hand for this event, and with the support from our contracted partners, we have 820 pieces available to put on the road. As the mayor mentioned, we've declared a snow emergency and a parking ban effective 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, January 25th. During declared snow emergencies, vehicles parked on posted snow arteries will be ticketed and towed. Parking in Boston Public School lots will also be prohibited during this time, as the superintendent mentioned. Also, vehicles found double parking, obstructing an intersection, or impeding snow removal in any way, they can also be towed. You can find a map of streets where parking is banned at boston.gov/snow, along with a list of all of our partner garages where discounted parking is available. All of this information and more can be found in the winter weather guide. Specific to trash, we're going to be operating on a Monday holiday schedule this week. So that means that all downtown districts, Charlestown, Roxbury, and South Boston will remain on their regular trash day and trash and recycling day without delay. But all other neighborhoods will experience a one-day delay in trash and recycling service. Please note that special item collections will also be canceled or delayed this week, so that includes food waste, mattresses, bulky special item pickups, textiles. Residents should visit boston.gov/trash day to find the most up-to-date information regarding curbside collection. During and following the storm, we really ask, please make sure you put trash out in a visible, accessible place in front of snowbanks. That's going to help those teams get that stuff off the road. Post-storm, property owners responsible to shovel sidewalks to a 42-inch travel width. Please clear your sidewalks as soon as possible after the storm ends. We also ask that you do not shovel or plow snow back into the street. We're expecting an extended period of cold weather following this event. So, sidewalks will ice over and be really difficult to clear. The city will issue violations to property owners who do not maintain safe sidewalks or who push or shovel snow into the street. While we encourage you to clear snow on Monday, residents will have until, based on the current forecast, will have till 10 a.m. On Tuesday, 3 hours after sunrise, to clear their sidewalks. As always, please use 311 to report any unshoveled sidewalks after that time on Tuesday. As the mayor mentioned, space savers are allowed for 48 hours after the end of a declared snow emergency, except in the south end in Bay Village. Any items left on the street after that 48-hour period will be removed and discarded. Again, we encourage people to visit boston.gov/snow, where you'll find many resources, including our winter weather guide, which is available in 12 languages. Lastly, I want to acknowledge and thank our city employees and contractors who are going to be working long, hard hours over the next several days. This is really difficult work. We respect and appreciate all your hard work and dedication to our city. Storms like this really require a team effort. It's going to take us a while to clear and treat every street. It's been a while, but Boston knows how to do this. We ask for your patience while we clean up from this one, but we'll get it done. With that, Chief Jordan.
Thank you, Nick. Good morning. My name is Adrian Jordan, Chief of Emergency Preparedness here in the city. And I want to, based on the snow emergency declaration, we now prepare for the first major winter storm we've experienced in probably around 4 years. During this time, Boston has changed. Our population has grown, neighborhoods have become denser, our streets look different than they did during our last significant snowfall. We've added bike lanes, bus lanes, outdoor dining areas, and new construction across the city. All of these changes mean snow operations may require additional coordination and patience as crews work to clear streets safely and effectively. City departments are fully activated and operating under our winter storm plans that account for today's Boston. Plow crews are pre-positioned, as Nick Gove said. Emergency responders are staff. I'm pretty sure the fire commissioner will allude to that, and the police commissioner, and we're coordinating closely with state and regional partners to monitor conditions and adapt operations in real time. We're asking residents also to partner with us. Please avoid unnecessary travel, follow emergency parking rules, and give plows the space they need to work. These steps make a real difference in how quickly we can clear streets and maintain areas for our emergency service vehicles. We also encourage residents to check on neighbors, particularly seniors and those that may need extra help during the storm. If you have an emergency, dial 911. For all non-emergencies, 311 is probably your best avenue. And in closing, our operations center, the city's emergency operations center, we have been in the enhanced monitoring posture since we announced the cold emergency, which was Friday night into this morning, and we're going to change over to our partial activation Sunday into Monday to support those needs as it relates to the snow removal. Our focus is keeping Boston safe and moving, and we appreciate everyone's cooperation as we navigated this storm together. And I'd be remiss if I didn't add as well that we can sign up for our alerts at alertboston.gov/alerts, so you can get real-time information directly to your whatever device you decide to use. So thank you so much. I'll now turn it over to Commissioner Carr.
Good morning, everyone. So we have two public safety events that I'm just going to briefly go over and then reiterate, obviously, what the mayor said and all our city partners. First is the weather. There's obviously a snow emergency starting at 8 a.m. tomorrow, and as such, we strongly encourage folks to remove their cars off the streets and then just basically not travel out there. Make sure the roads are clear for all our emergency vehicles and the plows. In addition to that, our officers who work 24/7 will be enhanced this weekend due to both the New England Patriots playoff game and the snow emergencies. If you see personnel or folks that are unsheltered and look like they need attention, please feel free to call us as 911, as we'll help to provide shelter to those folks. And of course, as always, if they need medical attention, please let us know that as well. We'll be assisting with that. If you see or have neighbors or that are elderly that you could check on, we appreciate that. If you need our assistance, as always, please dial 911 and let us know. One other addition, if you happen to be out on the roads, sometimes people think that, regardless of the vehicle that they drive, that they could cut through snow pretty easily. Posted speed limits are not appropriate for the weather, severe weather. You must slow down tremendously. Please let's not waste emergency medical equipment, people, officers, for accidents that are unnecessary because you're out on the road in really severe weather when you didn't need to be there. Secondly, the New England playoff game. We have reached out to all our college communities and want to share what we shared with them, is that they should be, one, indoors for this. That's pretty severe weather. And secondly, obviously everyone wants to watch the game and root for the team that they find their favorite. It's pretty obvious who will win, though. But the issue for them is that we celebrate appropriately and responsibly, and that you still live in neighbors. If people happen to see, or a large party or a disruptive behavior, please call us 911, and we're prepared to deal with it. But as always, we expect our Bostonians to live up to the expectations we have for them, so hopefully that won't be an issue. And lastly, I just want to remind folks, as always, if you see something, please say something. We work 24/7, and we will respond to as much as we need to. We will have officers also in all our licensed premise facilities checking in on folks. Underage drinking is a crime. We will be enforcing that. And obviously, loud disruptive behavior is as well. So if you see someone out there that needs any kind of emergency services, please let us know, and everyone stay safe. And up next is Chief Jim Mahooly from EMS.
Thank you. Hey, good morning, everyone. Thanks for being here. As any significant weather event, Boston EMS takes steps to increase staffing across neighborhoods throughout the city. And we're doing that on all 3 shifts. We started that today because of the cold conditions, even in anticipation before the storm. With dangerously cold weather and snow expected into the next week, we're going to also, put additional equipment out in our ambulances. We carry skeds, which if we need to use them almost like sleds, medical sleds, so we can, if we need those, to even access or extricate people from scenes. While the call volume often, sometimes we count on, goes down during storms because people do heed the word and they do stay home or hopefully watching games, the degree of difficulty goes up. It goes up on every single call. Every incident takes a little bit longer, navigating snow-covered streets, accessing homes, and safely transporting patients. All becomes more challenging in conditions like this. All ambulances are stocked with extra blankets as well. The safest thing that you can do is to stay home if you can. That's a recurrent theme we're hearing. If you have to go out, dress in layers, hats, mittens, cover your mouth with a scarf to protect yourself, your lungs. Keep your kids' time outdoors short, and infants really should stay inside entirely. Frostbite can come on pretty quickly to exposed skin when we get into like the single digits, and especially when the wind chill is sub-zero. Carbon monoxide poisoning is a real concern during storms and extreme cold weather. And if you're using different heating systems or supplemental ones, make sure they're used safely and that you have working carbon monoxide detectors on every floor of your home. Never use generators, grills, or ovens for your heat, and always clear the snow from household exhaust vents and from your vehicle's tailpipe. Sitting in an idling car can be deadly if the exhaust pipe is blocked. Please do not let children wait inside the car, in an attempt to keep them warm while you're shoveling or clearing around it. We have, in past years, seen some tragic episodes that resulted from that. Snow removal and shoveling can be a terrific exercise, but it can be hard work. Know your limits. Stop shoveling immediately if you experience chest pain, shortness of breath, lightheadedness, or nausea. If these symptoms don't resolve quickly, call 911. Never put your hands into snow blowers, discharge chute for any reason. Now is probably a good time to think about, like, say, do you have a family member who could assist you with some snow removal post the storm? And or if maybe you negotiate something with a teenager in your neighborhood who could use a couple of bucks on their upcoming school holiday. When driving, be mindful of pedestrians and that snowbanks can limit the visibility of drivers. If you do require EMS, know that the heavy snow can make it difficult for our crews to identify and access your homes. So clearing house numbers, it would be helpful if you think of it. And even though I don't expect everyone to get out in the peak of storms to clear snow, if you do have to call us, just having somebody maybe try to flag us, meet us at the door if possible, and that would be very helpful. Finally, we ask everyone to look out for one another. Check on your neighbors, older adults, family members, and anyone who may need a little extra help during or after the storm. As Nick was saying, this is going to be a multi-day event. We do ask everyone's patience, especially as we start to reopen things and we get more cars, more public back out on the road. That'll be a busy time for all of us as well. If you need us, we'll be there and ready to answer the calls as usual. But preparation and awareness can help prevent emergencies before they happen. And just real quick, I was going to say, I want to acknowledge, obviously, the women and men of Boston EMS who have done this before and who will be out there in all these conditions. But for the team is much more than what you see behind us. The hospitals are gearing up. They're expecting to see a bit more of a crunch, especially if some appointments get canceled or if people have trouble getting to dialysis or anything like that. The hospitals are familiar with this, and their emergency preparedness have been meeting pretty regular on this as well. So thank you very much. And with that, introduce Fire Commissioner Paul Burke.
Thank you, Chief Hooley. The Boston Fire Department is ready for this storm. We're going to have extra members on all ladder companies, and we're going to have the rescue companies with extra staffing. As the mayor alluded to, we have these 2 high-water vehicles. They're military-grade vehicles that can get into tight spots. They're 4-wheel drive, so if there's some area that we can't get into, these vehicles can get into it. Also with that, we're going to have 2 firefighters in several cars. They'll be utilized if there's an incident that's going to be long-term, such as power lines down that we cannot leave on the ground that are live. So these members will be sitting there until the utility companies come and the fire companies are freed up to go to other calls. As all the speakers have said, cleaning the streets are important for our response to get to any fire or any emergency, and we ask anybody that's physically able to clean the hydrant. If they cannot clean the hydrant, call 311. 311 has given all our public safety agencies a priority. Somebody will respond as fast as we can. The furnaces, as Chief Hooley alluded to, the furnaces, some of them are vented low outside the building, and a snowdrift could cover that vent. They have to be cleared, or it could disable the furnace. So people that own homes that have those style vents should know that. But if it disables their furnace, please call 911, and somebody will be there to help you. All the other resources we have will be on duty that for the 24-hour period. The firefighters in your neighborhood firehouse, as soon as the snow stops, will start shoveling the hydrants, so we have access to hydrants. We work in conjunction with the water department to make sure the hydrants are operable, they're not frozen. And everybody, please call 911 if you have any emergency and you need help. Thank you very much.
Any other questions?
Mayor, what do you anticipate might happen in terms of power outages, and will there be warming centers or shelters available so that people lose power? And I guess if you do lose power, should you anticipate it could be a lengthy period before it gets restored?
Yeah, I'll defer if Chief Jordan wants us to add anything here as well. But in general, there's a lot of coordination. So as you just heard, it's not just these departments and city staff, it's utility companies, it's universities, and all of our employers. And so we've been working hard to try to anticipate wherever possible, but things can happen, and especially when that, excuse me, that heavy snow comes down, weighs down on those lines. We want people to be prepared, and we're going to be working hand in hand with them to resolve any situations that come up.
So per our conversation with the utility partners, they don't anticipate a major power outage, but as we know, these things they constantly move. So, and as it relates to your question about the warming centers, our Boston Center for Youth and Families are going to be open. They were open today for regular programming, and tomorrow, on Sundays, there's only 2 BCYS that are available, but we do have the ability to open warming centers as we need. So there's plenty of resources within the city's spectrum that we can mobilize if we do need to have a warming center stood up.
Anyone else? Yes.
Mayor, Justin Michaels with the Weather Channel. Two questions, if I may. The first related to the salt and the preparations for the storm and future storms. We're kind of at the beginning of winter. How is the city of Boston set for the remainder of winter after what this will be a very large storm? And then the second question when you're done with that.
Yeah, we start preparing months in advance, and that's tuning up all the vehicles, making sure any plow or salt spreader or other kind of equipment is ready to go, maintained months in advance, and coordinating logistics across all of the garages that will need to be involved with parking bans and, of course, our city departments. And so we feel very secure and grateful in that our contracts related to salt supply are very solid. We've been in touch with all of those suppliers and have enough ready that was actually just delivered in the last several hours, and more that we can draw on if we need. That is locked in at a particular contract level, and we should be ready to go certainly throughout this next spell and then for the rest of the winter as well.
How many tons on hand?
40,000.
40,000 for just this storm or for the?
That's our store for in general. If we end up going through it faster than anticipated, we can adjust later, but that is what we have ready.
Okay, and second question, looking at the next several days, in fact, the remainder of the month into February, low temperatures in the single digits, high temperatures in the 20s. It's not going to get out of above freezing for the remainder of the week and into next month. Looking at the dangers of warming, we talked about warming centers a moment ago, but warming, keeping people safe, carbon monoxide poisoning issues, candle use if the power goes out. Can you talk about some of the dangers when people are trying to stay warm?
Yeah, and I know Chief Hooley and our commissioner is going to have a bit to say on that as well. You know, from the city's perspective, just from the pure act of how much goes into clearing snow away, the best kind of snow is snow that looks beautiful, but then comes down slowly and gently and melts on the ground or immediately is followed by higher temperatures that then help us clear that. We are not going to have that help in this case. It's going to be heavy snow coming down fast. It will take several hours after the end of the actual snowfall for us to get to work and actually get the streets clear. And if we don't do it fast enough, it will turn into ice. And that is in some ways even more dangerous for cars and for people out and about in our community. So we hold ourselves to those standards as well as we're issuing tickets and you know, making sure that property owners are doing their part. We do that for our own city buildings and departments as well, that we expect and want to hold ourselves to keeping pathways clear, sidewalks, and of course the roads and areas. We work closely with the state as well. There are many state roads. There are areas around MBTA stations that we coordinate with them around. Our big focus is going to be taking Monday to get as much cleared down to the pavement as possible to prevent that black ice from developing and also to be ready for school to be fully open and functioning across all of our community centers and libraries on Tuesday. So with that, people should be ready. Again, it's the Patriots game. It's a big victory that we're going to be celebrating. And then it's snow, cold for many days afterwards. So there's a window now. Please be prepared, bundle up. Make sure where possible you're taking care of yourselves, but also checking on everyone else in your life, your friends, your neighbors, your family members. We have resources available to help, but don't let the cold or the snow or some dangerous conditions sneak up on you. You got to be prepared. And I'll ask our two cabinets.
The dangers of candle use and whatnot, that can be a problem very fast.
Yes, people should not use candles. If they use them, they shouldn't leave them unattended. Also, your point about the pipes was a good point. The pipes freeze, and so the pipe is full of solid ice. The water's not flowing. When the temperature starts to go up, the ice melts. The pipe is cracked because the ice expanded the pipe. You have water flow as lighting or anything. Water takes the path of least resistance. So now it's coming through an electrical outlet or a lighting system. We have to shut down the power in those buildings. That's a terrible situation for a homeowner. So that's something to look for. If you can open your cabinets underneath your sink that's near a wall, an exterior wall, that will help keep them warm because the heat will go in. It's a very serious condition with the pipes, and it doesn't hit until the temperatures start to rise, so everybody should be aware of that. And with the other point with the furnaces and everything else, I think if you have a fireplace, be very careful. It should have been checked, the flue should have been cleaned at least once a year. To light a fireplace and then go to bed, you better have working carbon monoxide and smoke detectors. It's a very dangerous situation. So, yeah, those are very good points. Thank you very much.
What to watch out for symptoms.
Sure. Yeah. Excuse me. And some of the points around carbon monoxide is one, to think about it, suspected. Even though carbon monoxide detectors are available, and a lot of people do take advantage of that, and they put them in different parts of their home. One of the things we've known, our experience is that sometimes people aren't aware of symptoms or that they can be really subtle when they come on. It's not necessarily you smelling smoke. Carbon monoxide, it's odorless, it's colorless, and people sometimes might just first coming down with a headache or some general malaise or ringing in the ear, something where they They might just assume it's something, maybe they're tired or coming down with the flu or what have you. That can progress into like, mental status changes, confusion. If people see things like that, they should suspect it. One of the things, and because we are still in flu season, right? So one of the things we always were taught when we were going into homes would be if it's rare to have an entire family coming down with the flu at the same day, same time, right? Something may run through a house, but if you do have the thing where like, wow, several people really seem kind of sick on one, then we should really, that should raise our index of suspicion. Fire department has equipment that they can come out even if we suspect carbon monoxide poisoning. We do have meters, and our crews have as well too. They can do a quick check to see if you show signs of it in your blood. But the idea is just be aware of it, suspect that it could be something. On the other thing I want to add in was about shoveling, clearing walks and stairs isn't just about being a nice citizen or neighbor on the street. Slips, falls, fractures, dislocations, those are very, very common after storms, ice storms. And while usually they're not life-threatening, they lead to disability. They lead to people missing work, not being able to go to school, or go about your daily chores. And so if we can avoid that, we're all susceptible to that. So if we can avoid that and avoid that for our neighbors, friends, and passersby, that's a good reason right there.
May I ask one more? I do three. Because the temperatures are going to be so cold, the freezing point when you use salt gets down into the 20s, but are there other methods, magnesium chloride, even beet juice some municipalities use to lower that freezing point even further? Does the city employ anything like that?
Yeah. Sure. So, for streets, we use just a traditional calcium chloride salt. We use that to get that brine going before the storm, and then obviously for post-storm treatment. In some of the parks, they are using some of the other products that you've mentioned. And I just want to go back to your first question too, as far as where we are in the winter calendar. That absolutely drives our plan for events like this. We are very fortunate that we are starting with mostly no snowpack in the city, but where we are this time in January, that's one of the reasons why we want to really implement a parking ban for an event like this, because we're thinking about what's coming behind this storm. We're already tracking potential systems for later this week. So that absolutely comes into play when we're preparing for events like this.
I would suggest to all residents of the city and everybody that they should fully charge their cell phones before the snow starts. Just in case the power lines go down, they need to call 911. They should have fully charged cell phones.
Is there anything else that you think you want to say in Spanish that was said from these gentlemen that you think that they should know?
Yeah, okay, let me think a little bit. Boston es una comunidad que están preparando cada día del año para cada situación, pero especialmente en el invierno necesitamos muchas más niveles de preparación entre la coordinación entre departamentos, pero también con proveer la información a nuestros residentes. Por ejemplo, en este momento no solamente es una tormenta de nieve, después hay muchos días del frío. Entonces necesitamos la acción ahora para limpiar el nieve o después también una situación muy peligrosa para cada persona. Entonces necesitamos la colaboración y la ayuda de nuestra comunidad y coordinar después de esta tormenta, y necesitamos su paciencia para nuestros departamentos y empleos de ciudad para trabajar, completar nuestro trabajo y proveer los servicios para asegurar la seguridad de cada persona. Si necesita ayuda, por favor, llama a 911 para cada situación. Una persona que necesita ayuda afuera o una situación de médica en su casa, 911 en cada situación. I think I might have gotten the website wrong in Spanish before I was reading. El sitio web para la información, la más nueva para todos, es boston.gov/snow. Thanks. All right. Thanks, everyone. Oh, and thank you to our interpreters. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.